So you're thinking about moving to Idaho and you're afraid about what people will say. Because locals out here will say, don't come here, stay out. This is something we hear all the time. And there's nothing against people in any state. It's just that Idaho has some strong opinions about the life that they live here. And so a lot of times people will ask me to interview someone that is not from here. And I'm not from here, but you hear my opinion all the time. So I pulled my friend Kirsten in, who is not native to Idaho, and I'm going to interview her so you can get a second opinion of what it's like to move here, to feel like an outsider, to not be Mormon, and to share that experience. So you ready? Let's get started. What's up, guys? Annika here with the Anderson Hicks Group. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited for this interview. I want everybody to meet my dear friend, Kirsten Landers. She is not native to Idaho, so I'm just gonna shoot off some questions.
Okay.
And we're just gonna see how this goes, and hopefully this will be helpful to you. And if you're looking for more information about Idaho, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I put out a video every single week. Okay, so Kirsten.
Yeah.
Where were you born, first of all?
I was born in Wheat Ridge, Colorado.
Colorado, okay.
Yeah.
And then walk me through like all the places you've lived and like, do you have a place that you say that you're from?
I say I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
Because I lived there through some pretty formative years from when I was about 6 to when I was just turning 25.
Oh, okay. So it was
Yeah.
a big chunk of your life was
Yeah.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay. Was Arizona, the place that you were in, was it more conservative, liberal, moderate? Like what were you used to growing up?
Thinking back and the places I lived, Paradise Valley or Scottsdale, Arizona, there were pockets of more liberal residents. Phoenix was such a big metropolis, and I lived just outside of Phoenix. And so it was a very diverse and very large city to grow up in, which is very opposite of Idaho Falls, especially when I moved here back in 2009.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And then you married someone not from Idaho too.
Correct. Yep.
Tell me about that.
He had just moved here from New York and was working for the local news station as their sports broadcaster. And there weren't a lot of places to meet singles at the time, so I met him at a bar here in Idaho Falls. And I guess it was serendipity because we spent all of our time together, got married, and had our daughter here.
Oh, I love that. So
Yeah.
you did actually meet here.
Yeah.
And actually, this is really important. Idaho has bars.
Good ones, too.
This is an important fact because some people know that Mormons don't drink alcohol, so there's a lot of soda shops out here.
That's true.
But I do get asked all the time from people who've never been here, like, am I able to get coffee? Like, is there a place to get a drink, like, after work? I'm like, yes, absolutely. So even back then, you were able to meet someone at a bar, and we even have more now. So that I just want to emphasize that we do have things that, like, it's not just like this Mormon, like, bubble.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's been great raising our daughter here because the LDS or Mormon influence is so prevalent. It does make for a very family-oriented, safe community that I really enjoy and that I think a lot of families and a lot of transplants will appreciate about the area. But it's also growing more diverse. I came from Arizona. My husband came from New York. We have friends from Mississippi, California. I went to school in California, so I'm a little bit of a Californian too. But it's a great area, I think, to live and thrive and be a part of the community, to find somewhere to work, to find a safe school for your children. There's a lot of things to do here. The national parks are so close. We love going to Jackson Hole whenever we can. It's easy to get down to Salt Lake. It's only 3 hours, and then you're in a big city, and you can explore all the wonderful things of a bigger city just 3 hours away. So I think there's a lot of great things about Idaho Falls that is kind of a compromise for a lot of families that may be looking and deciding where they should move to next.
Yeah, I love that. And I agree. She named all the things that I love. I have a pros and cons video that talks about those things. But let's talk about the things that maybe you don't love about Idaho Falls or like Eastern Idaho in general.
I don't love the snow.
Okay.
I mean, I ski. I love skiing. There are so many ski resorts that are so close that I really appreciate that. But all in all, I would rather drive to the snow resorts at a distance or fly or travel to. I don't love living in the snow all the time. I hate shivering. I feel like the snow and the cold lasts a while. So not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said it before this interview, I said it's going to get hot in here, and she said, good. She's a true Arizona girl that likes the heat. So if you like the heat, it's a big difference.
It is.
Like how do you cope like with the winters?
Make sure you buy heavy coats. Make sure you have great snow gear, boots, gloves. Make sure you have snow tires. Make sure there's a car that you can drive in the snow that you trust, because I hate nothing more than getting into my car and not being sure if I'm able to maneuver the snow. So those are the things that I can think of that I feel are really important in considering moving up here. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree. I don't like the cold either. I love winter. Like, I love 4 seasons, but I don't like being cold, but I also don't like being hot. Like, I've got a very small window of like 60 to like 80 degrees, and that's it. So if I can do it, anyone can do it, honestly.
That's true.
I mean, we've got central heating everywhere. We've got heat and cooling in our cars. Like, it's temperature controlled all the time. And if you like to be out in the snow, you can have that opportunity. And if you don't like it, you just hang out inside during the winter. Yeah. So thank you. I love that. So what about not being, I know you mentioned this a little bit about the LDS culture and how you have no problem with it, but have you ever felt like an outsider, like you weren't included? And has your daughter ever felt that way, not being LDS?
You know, it's hard to say exactly, because nothing is so overt as to, oh, we're going to treat you differently, or we don't like you because you're LDS, or, you know, there's never been those sort of hardline conversations. I think naturally in our brains, we just want to consider ourselves as outsiders because we know we are. And I hate to even use that term, because I feel like this is a community that I've grown my family in, and I've gotten wonderful friends in, and it's someplace I've spent the last, 15 years of my life. And so it's become like home to me. And so yes and no, but part of that too is I have to own up to some of that in my own mind. We found our church community. We have friends within that church community. And so we really have developed friendships within that community. And so I think because of that, we just really don't sense that anything outside of it, just, I don't know, because we surround ourselves with the people we choose to surround ourselves with. Yeah. But all in all, everyone's really friendly. LDS friends, atheist friends, Christian friends, Jewish friends, even. I've made those kinds of friends throughout the year, or the years that I've been here. And they've all been very special and meaningful to me. And yeah, so I can't say that I've experienced anything so overt of, you know, being mistreated or treated differently because we're not Mormon. But you sense a little bit of difference. And I think overall that's just a cultural difference that you're sensing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I totally agree with all of that. I've talked to many of you watching these videos about these questions. I even have a video about Mormons that we can go even deeper in. And so I know that it is scary moving to a new place and not knowing the people, not knowing the culture. And then on top of it, you hear things like, don't come to Idaho, we're full. Or there's too many Mormons here, you won't like it, or you'll feel like an outsider. There's a lot of like negativity that you can hear, honestly, about any state. I agree. We could paint a picture for the better, for the worse, for any state, any probably country in the world. Yeah. And so it just depends on like your situation, what you're looking for. And a lot of those opinions really are anecdotal. So it's important to just form your own opinion, watch videos like this, talk to other people in the community, and then come check it out, come experience it. So if Kirsten, if somebody was coming to come visit Idaho Falls, where would you tell them to go?
Oh gosh, well, I mean, it is called Idaho Falls for a reason. So I think the greenbelt around the falls is a great place to start. I'm a little bit of a history nerd and history buff, so I really love Topfus Park and the history behind Topfus Park. There's a vibrant downtown that's beautiful with older buildings that I think would be fun for you to check out. There's boutiques and restaurants that I enjoy going to, and I love meeting Annika for lunch downtown. So those would be the first places that I would suggest. And then if you want to branch out, I, again, love going to the national parks, love going to Jackson. There's just so much beautiful scenery, even looking out your window. It's beautiful here in Idaho Falls, and I really don't think you can go wrong when you just venture out a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if there was one restaurant you can tell people to go check out, what would you pick?
Oh, the Snake Bite.
Yeah.
I love that place. And the man that owns it is from Kentucky. And he and his group are doing such a good job of incorporating some new businesses into Idaho Falls. I think they just opened an Italian restaurant.
Oh, it's the same owners?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go check that out. It's fun, and it's neat to see the diversity and the kinds of people that are moving into Idaho Falls, because it's growing so quickly, and there's so many diverse residents now here versus when I first moved here 15 years ago.
Yeah, have you met others from, like really different countries, like, I don't know, the Dominican Republic, the Philippines, Thailand, China, Russia? Like, have you seen any of that?
Oh, yeah. So I was actually telling a friend of mine the other day how funny I thought it was that my husband and I are friends with all these couples from different countries. We have some friends, and the husband's from Italy, another couple, the husband's from Ukraine, another couple, the husband's from Canada. And well, and you're from Germany, all over. So it's really easy to find people that have the same sort of interests and cultural backgrounds as you, in a town that's just, I don't know, I love it. It's so friendly and open, and it's a great atmosphere, I think, for you to come, find work, and grow your family.
And this is my last question. It's a little bit harder for us to answer because we're just two white girls.
Yeah.
But if somebody of color came to Idaho Falls, what is your take on, how comfortable they would be? They feel like an outsider. Do you see racism in Idaho Falls?
No, so this is a conversation I actually had with a potential borrower. I'm a lender earlier today, and she asked something of a similar question. And I told her I've never read or heard in the news of any sort of hate crime based on someone's race. So I feel it's very safe. I have friends of different races that feel that it's very safe. The INL here, the Idaho National Lab, employs people from around the world, and it's a beautiful, vast array of colors of people that work there and live in our community. And even our church community is really diverse. And that's what I want for my daughter. So me personally, I haven't experienced it or seen it, and I haven't had friends tell me otherwise. If they did, I hope they would. But it's a great place to live, and I hope anyone feels invited to live here.
Yeah, thank you. And I told Kirsten, I said, be completely honest. Like, we're not trying to sell it or anything. Like, I want her complete honest point of view. And I agree. I also have not seen any racism, any hate crimes. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I can't promise that. I think we might have parts of that everywhere in the country, maybe. But I personally, I've lived here for 3 years. What was it, 15?
Yeah.
And we're just not seeing that. So Idaho really is a great place. And no, it's not as diverse as the big cities like Scottsdale or even Salt Lake City or New York City or LA. Like, of course, it's not going to be as diverse. Of course, we're not going to have as many amenities, but there are things to offer here, and it's growing, and it does have a community feel here where people can share in their values and support one another. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times somebody will like lose a wallet or a pet or a phone, and they post about it on Facebook like, hey, I found this for you, or people turn it in, or they're helping one another. Like, there's so many people saying, what do you need for Christmas right now? And all these people are like jumping in and be like, I'll help you, and I've got this, and let's help each other. Like, it is so cool, and that's one of my favorite parts about a smaller town like Idaho Falls, is you actually have this like tight-knit community.
Yes. Yeah, and people pitch in. It's amazing. If you're moving, you'll have friends that help you move. It really is a great place to be, because there is a sense of oneness and kind of a sense of banding together. We're in a little bit of a bubble. We're about 45 minutes away from Pocatello, about a half hour away from Rexburg, and those are the other larger cities that surround us. I don't know, I think there's something about us feeling as though we're a little bit isolated from the world that causes us to stick together.
Yeah, I totally agree. Was there anything else you would add about your life in Idaho Falls?
It's been a blessing to be here, to meet my husband, to have my daughter here, and it really is someplace I consider home. So I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kirsten.
Thank you.
And thanks again for tuning in. I hope this helped answer some of your questions that you have. If you have any more questions, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me email. All my information is in the description below. And again, if you want to know more videos or see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you won't miss a beat when I post a video every single week. Again, my name is Annika Wilder. This is Kirsten Landers with Empire Home Loans. She's a lender, and I'm a realtor. So if you're looking to move here, reach out. We'll be happy to help. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.